Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk about people leaving stuff on the side of the road, right? So these chairs have been left out, right? I'm sat on one and they kind of look like that. They've been chucked out because they're crap. They've been chucked out because they are absolutely worthless. And if you go further back here, right, there's like old bits of door, right? Just cardboard boxes that were wet from the rain. Other cardboard boxes. This one apparently had an VST scooter in it. You know, you got all sorts of stuff out here, right? And you see this all up and down London, people leaving stuff on the side of the road. And it's just a nightmare, right? Because there's a difference between leaving out something that you think someone else might find some value in and just this, which is just full on fly tipping at this point, right? I'm kind of a staunch defender of people leaving things on the side of the road because I feel like you can get some good stuff. I've found some pretty decent things out there on the side of the road. You know, I found some good stuff. I found a painting that I really like. I found a new frame for it, which I also found on the side of the road. But both of those combined made for something really nice. I found DVDs on the side of the road. I found the entire complete set of The Office on DVD. Right? I found Platoon on VHS. I found some good stuff, you know, and I found a little painting kit on the side of the road and I made a painting with it. Here's the painting. So I found some good stuff out there, right? And I do appreciate people leaving things out on the side of the road because you can do some good stuff with it, you know. I think it's kind of in the spirit of sharing, you know. I'm sick of having this thing, so I'm gonna put it outside my house and hopefully someone else will get some good use out of it. I'm down with that, right? I have a lot more respect for that, you know, those endless Facebook groups or next door groups, which will just be like, hey, I'm getting rid of all my old baby stuff, and then, you know, it's all texting one another and all this sort of shit. And it just kind of goes on and on and on and on forever. I like this. It's just a very direct way of getting something from A to B. You're sick of having something, but you think someone else might get some use out of it, so you leave it out front, right? And then someone comes along and thinks, oh, that's good, I'll have that. And then they take it, right? I'm absolutely fine with that. My mate John Henry, he got a rug, really nice rug, like an Arab style rug, and it was just found on the side of the road. You know, it's fantastic, the stuff that you can get on the side of the road. I see all sorts of stuff that I think, oh, I'd really like that, but I can't be asked to bring it back with me. I found like a huge synthesizer one time, right? It was gigantic, this thing was. And I just never brought it back because it was huge and it was on the other side of town. And I thought I'm never going to be able to lug that back. And if I did, where am I going to put it? So I just never got it. I never took it. But next time I was in that area, it was gone. So someone had it, right? And I'm glad that someone had it, right? I don't have a problem inherently with the idea of leaving these chairs out, but I do have a problem with someone leaving chairs out that look like that, right? That is a fucking joke, right? That's garbage. That's just useless. This is fly tipping. The only use this has is to film a video like this, and there's a very niche use case, right? I'm not going to be taking these chairs once I'm done with them. They're going to stay here, getting in people's way, like lime bikes, right? It's old women walking past, right? When I first came, it was like that, right? Because the wind had probably knocked it over. If I was an old woman with a Zimmer frame, how am I supposed to get that out of the way? Right? It's ridiculous. I just think it's absolutely fucking foul that this person has left all of this stuff out here. There's so much of it. There's just boxes upon boxes upon boxes of crap. It's all gotten wet from the rain, so it's not like the cardboard's of any use to anyone, right? When I think of like communal living and, you know, sharing is caring and all that sort of stuff, I think about, you know, I've got some DVDs to get rid of because I've moved over to streaming, so I'm going to put them out the front so someone can have them. And I'm not just talking about any old crap, I'm talking about decent DVDs. You know, like, you know, the special editions of Lord of the Rings or whatever. You know, not just like series 4 of fucking Gavin and Stacey. There's only 2 series, it's just series 2 of Gavin and Stacey, but not series 1, right? I want decent stuff left on the side of the road. That's the key thing here. Decent stuff. Right? Stuff that has some value to people, not this, right? Because this is useless, right? If it was, you know, still had this all sorted, because they've obviously thrown it out because there's a big hole in it, right? If you see me sort of falling into it as over the course of the video, it's because there's a giant hole in the bottom of it, right? But right now, I'm just the king of garbage, aren't I? I'm just the king of the fucking, like, pile of garbage. And it doesn't need to be this way, right? These people could have easily taken this stuff to the dump. Oh, but then that's the issue, isn't it? taking stuff to the dump. You used to be able to just go to the dump and just scrounge for whatever you wanted, right? But now, you can't do that. They don't let you in. They don't let you just wander through the garbage, right? And if you want to get rid of stuff, suddenly you have to pay. I shouldn't have to pay to get rid of a load of garbage. They should be having to pay me. That's how it should work, surely, right? If I want to get rid of something and you want something, then exchange, right? But if I'm getting rid of a load of garbage, right, I don't see why I should be paying and losing out, right? It's just a joke, right? I mean, I don't know. That's probably why this person has left this stuff out here. I understand that, right? But you know what? It's just a pain in the ass because this is getting in people's way. This isn't a very wide road, very wide pavement. It's just not on. It's a difference between leaving a load of books out and leaving this out. You know, I remember I was hanging out with my mate, who's not my mate anymore. And this was probably like 7-8 years ago. And we'd had a load of stuff to drink, right? Some, like, one of his mates, he had some Polish mate who came over with this really weird vodka that was like strawberry infused vodka that you could literally just drink like apple juice. And we had a load of that. And we went walking around Hounslow. And what did we do? We found two big sort of wheelie sofas that had wheels on them. And they were at the top of a hill. So we got in them and we pushed each other down the hill. And then we brought them back up and then we pushed each other down the hill, like sort of urban sledding. That was a lot of fun, that. Or there was another time when I was waiting for a bus, right, and there was a big sofa that was just right next to the bus stop, right, and this bus wasn't coming for like 15 minutes, so I thought, right, well, fantastic, I've got a sofa, I'm going to be comfortable, right? And so I kind of shifted it and so I could look out at the road in a way that I couldn't normally in that sort of area. I couldn't sit down and have a look at the road from that angle. And it felt kind of interesting and unique. And I was glad for that. I mean, what else have I found? As I said, paintings and stuff that I really enjoyed. Found a couple Rothko-esque type things that I get a kick out of. I found a load of DVDs, a load of books that I then sold. So I made a bit of money off of that. You know, I found loads of stuff. You know, I'm happy with it. I'm happy finding stuff on the side of the road, but not this. This is just a load of shite, right? This has no value to anybody, and whoever left this out is just a fucking knobhead, right? Because look at it, there's so much stuff here, it's getting in people's way. I've already said that, right? But it bears repeating that this is just getting in people's way, right? As I said, that was like that when I first got here, and if there was an old woman trying to get past, she would have had to cross into the road, right? And that's dangerous. It just frustrates me, right? It's the same with line bikes. Line bikes piss me off as well because they get in the middle of the road and people just dump them places and they get in the way of old women trying to cross the street or whatever. They just get in the way. They're all over the place. It's like littering and fly tipping are just encouraged now, right? No councilman is going to come and give the people that left this out here a fine. They're just going to get away with it. They're going to keep piling more crap up. There's another road that I go down that's near my house that for about 7-8 weeks, there was this huge pile of garbage, the size of that fucking Volkswagen there, right? It was ridiculous. It was huge and it stunk. It was fucking reeking all day and night, right? There were nappies and shit in it, all sorts of horrible things. And I just don't get why that was allowed to left there and just infest it. Just endless, right? So we have to deal with this shit all the time. And you know what, if they get rid of this, they'll probably try and find a way of getting rid of the things that I like around, you know, leaving stuff outside your house, you know, like DVDs and stuff. They'll say that's fly tipping, but they won't come after this. This is terrible. We shouldn't be allowed to have this. This is not on, right? I just think that it's like, look, let's see if we can find anything of worth, right? Empty box, plastic bag with no Oasis bottle in it, empty box, styrofoam, half a door. There's nothing here for anybody, right? If you go inside, there's a load more shit in there. It's just fucking ridiculous. You might think I'm picking on this person in particular, but I'm not. This is just an example. This is just an example of the shit I have to live with, right? All over fucking town, right? Everywhere. Why can't the council do something about this, right? I don't understand. This isn't hard, right? Get some fella to come along, pull up here, put all this stuff in the back of a van, and because this person's left this out for fucking weeks, slap him with a fine. There must be, like, isn't the whole thing of like London is the most CCTV'd place on earth, right? There must be some CCTV camera watching me now if there's CCTV all over the bloody place, right? So have a look at that, go back 4 or 5 weeks, go, oh right, they left it out, all right, we'll slap them with a fine. The longer they leave it out, the bigger the fine is, right? Make some money for the council, and then the council can spend that money on bringing over delivery, garbage men to come pick this shit up, right? So that old women can walk down the fucking street. It's just ridiculous. I don't see why we have to deal with this all the fucking time. And it's not unique to my borough, that's why I haven't named my borough, right? It's not just here, it's everywhere, in London, it's outside of London, and I bet it's in your fucking local area as well, even if you don't live in England or Scotland or in the UK. If you live in America, I bet you deal with this shit all the time. Even if you live in one of those homeowner associations, is that what they have homeowners associations for, so you don't have this shit all over the place, right? I'll tell you what, I don't particularly like the idea of a homeowners association, but it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, I don't know. I'm just frustrated because I deal with this all the time. Getting past things, holding my fucking nose, walking down the street, right? Sometimes I pick up something of good worth, right? But most of the time I get this fucking shite, right? And there's just crap all over the place. And what are we gonna do about it? What are we to do about it, right? I don't know. There's no solution here. Well, there is a solution. I just gave you the solution, which is slap these people with a fine, get this shit off the side of the road, right? Clean the streets up. There's a bottle of water over there that's empty, right? Why doesn't someone pick that up? You might say, oh, why don't I pick it up? But you know what? If I go around picking up everyone's shit after them, they're going to litter more stuff. So why don't we get someone to come along and just go, hey, you're a dickhead, and we're going to fine you, right? That's sorted. I just don't know why we have to deal with this shit all the time. This really frustrates me. Really, really frustrates me. Anyway, that's my rant, right? What do you think of it? What do you think of people leaving garbage on the side of the road like this, right? There's someone here for pram, they're gonna have to struggle. Let's watch them try and struggle. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but still. Just kids asleep, so I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. You saw him sort of like that, right? Fucking nightmare. Honestly, what do you think of this kind of thing? What do you think of people leaving crap on the side of the road? Do you have an opinion on it? Do you not? Do you now have an opinion when you didn't before? Are you one of these twats that leaves this shit out here all the time? Or are you not? What do you think of it? And do you have this in America? Do you deal with this? Is this what homeowners associations are designed to deal with? Or if you live in a HOA, apparently that's what they're called. If you live in a HOA, do you deal with this as well? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, that was another angry one from me. I'm noticing I'm recording a lot of angry ones lately. I think it's because my tooth has a slight ache to it, and I think when I talk, it just gets me incensed. It's like I'm tasting iron all the time. I've set up a dentist appointment, but still, I've got to deal with it in the meanwhile. So I think there's gonna be angry videos until that point. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm just gonna shift it back into the hedge where it belonged. Try and get this stuff out of the way as much as best I can. That was wet and nasty. Oh yeah. Fuck's sake.